Your body, your thoughts, your memories, everything that makes you, you. Imagine it doesn't just cease to exist, but is erased from reality itself, vanishes, without a trace. Your body will be torn apart atom by atom. That's horrifying, but it's not the worst part. The worst part is, where does your personality go? Your self. And what if this self never truly existed for the universe in the first place? In the vast, dark, seemingly empty universe, there are places where familiar laws cease to apply. Places where space and time themselves fold like crumpled paper. We call them black holes. But a black hole isn't a cosmic vacuum cleaner. It's a region of space where gravity becomes so intense that no object, not even light, can escape. From the outside, it just looks like a dark void in the sky. But physically, it's the extreme limit of what gravity is capable of. Not an object hanging in space, but space itself, warped into an almost infinitely small volume. And the most unsettling thing? To it, you're not a person. You are a distribution of mass and energy, a set of particles that can be overwritten. If you ever find yourself too close to a black hole, it won't attack. It has no purpose, no intentions. But its gravitational field will begin to rewrite you, like a file opened by the wrong hands. You will understand what is happening, and there will be nothing left to do. Imagine you're falling, no rocket, no spacesuit, just an observer hurled towards a black hole. While you're far away, everything seems almost normal. Gravity is felt, but it doesn't kill. The most insidious thing about a black hole isn't the gravitational pull itself, but its difference across your body. Your feet are closer to the black hole than your head. This means your feet are pulled slightly stronger. This difference in gravitational force is called tidal stress. At first, you'll feel a strange stretching, as if someone is holding your feet and your head and pulling them in opposite directions. The closer you get, the faster this difference grows. Your joints, muscles, internal organs are not designed for such differential forces. Your body will stretch, compress horizontally, and elongate vertically. Physicists call this spaghettification. You become a thin, long strand of flesh, bones, and ultimately, individual atoms. Your bones will crack before your brain can fully comprehend what's happening. Your cells will rupture. Your blood will stretch into threads. One half of your body will experience gravity significantly different from the other. And this is even before you reach the main boundary. Before you lies an invisible surface. Not a wall, not a shell, but a geometric boundary, the event horizon. This is the point of no return, beyond which even light cannot turn back. From the outside, for a distant observer, something strange will begin. As you approach the event horizon, you will appear to slow down. Your fall will seem to freeze in time. The watch on your wrist still ticks normally, but by their clocks, by their measure of time, you are slowing down more and more. On their side of the universe, the light from you takes longer and longer to reach their eyes, and they see you as if you are suspended right at the edge of the black hole. From their perspective, you will never truly cross the event horizon. You will hang there, growing dimmer, redder, dissolving into darkness. Your image will stretch along the horizon until it vanishes completely. But for you, inside, there is no such slowing down. You simply continue to fall. You don't notice any special wall. You don't feel that you've crossed any boundary. And it is at this moment that something we are unaccustomed to begins. As you fall inward, the structure of space-time changes so that the forward direction turns towards the singularity. You cannot choose a direction away from it. This is no longer a question of speed, it is a question of geometry. The traditional distinction between past and future blurs. On your way to the center, you might in principle glimpse the future of the external universe. For you, time flows as it always has. But the external universe, from your perspective, accelerates. Galaxies age, stars burn out, the cosmos cools. The entire future course of cosmic history, compressed, flashes before your eyes as you continue to fall inward. You don't just die, you get to witness the death of everything else. By this point, your body has long ceased to exist in a form familiar to you. It's stretched, fragmented, turned into a stream of particles hurtling towards the center. But modern physics doesn't stop at the body. It asks a more terrifying question. What happens to the information about you? Everything you are can be thought of as information. The configuration of atoms in your body, the structure of neural connections in your brain, your DNA, your personal experiences, memories. Quantum mechanics states, information in a closed system cannot simply be destroyed. It can be redistributed, entangled, dissipated, but not vanish without a trace. If you burn in a fire, the information about you dissipates, in photons of light, in smoke molecules, in heat. Theoretically, if we could account for every particle, we could rewind the process. But with a black hole, everything seems different. Everything that falls in, according to our equations, eventually compresses into the singularity, a point of infinite density where the curvature of space-time tends to infinity. Within our theories, this point is the boundary of knowledge. They're the laws that perfectly describe planets, stars, and even atoms cease to work. And here arises the black hole information paradox. If everything that comprised you is information, and all of it falls into a black hole, where does this information go when the black hole ceases to exist? According to general relativity, a black hole can live almost forever. But quantum field theory suggests otherwise. Black holes emit very faint radiation, Hawking radiation. Gradually, over monstrously long epochs, a black hole evaporates. Imagine, after trillions and trillions of years, the black hole you fell into vanishes. All that remains is a cloud of very cold quantum particles. The question, does this cloud contain all the information about you? Or is some part of it no longer present in any corner of the universe? If information is destroyed inside a black hole, it breaks a fundamental principle of quantum theory. The universe ceases to be reversible. A part of the past becomes forever lost. This means that in some deep, strict physical sense, you can be erased as if you never existed. A single point in space can take you entirely, with your fears, plans, childhood memories, favorite music, and turn all of it into something from which you cannot even reconstruct the fact that you once were. There are hypotheses that information doesn't disappear after all, that it is somehow encoded on the surface of the event horizon, that it escapes with Hawking radiation in an encrypted form, that our three-dimensional reality is a projection of a more fundamental two-dimensional one. But for you personally, there is almost no difference. Even if someday, somewhere, through unimaginable epochs, the quanta associated with your fall carry tiny traces of information, they won't reassemble into you. You will not be restored. You will not wake up. You will not know that you ever existed. A black hole demonstrates the ultimate form of cosmic indifference. It doesn't just break your body, it questions the very rule that nothing is forgotten. Perhaps the universe allows for zones where the past can be cut out with scissors, where your trace doesn't just dissipate, it is erased. We are used to thinking that death is a final point. Pain ceases, consciousness fades, the body decays. But the fact that you lived remains in the universe's past. A black hole offers a different scenario. It presents the possibility not just of death, but of deleting a line from the reality's text file. We don't fully know what happens to the information about you inside a black hole. The world's best physicists have been debating it for decades. But the mere fact that the universe allows such questions is terrifying enough. There are places where space is not just cold. It is actively hostile to the very idea of the trace you leave behind. And if you thought space was empty and safe, it's not. Space is not empty, and it's not on your side. Space is not safe,